Hello learners, in this lecture we will see what is aggregates. We already seen what is sand. Sand is also a type of aggregate, but we'll try to see what is the function of the coarse aggregate and the fine aggregate once again. Yeah, so you can see it here, right? So we call this as coarse aggregate and we call this as fine aggregate. In the sometimes we call this as sand as well, right? Yeah. So what is the use of all these things? First is aggregates are generally cheaper than the cement and impact greater volume stability and durability to the concrete. So the aggregate is used primarily for the purpose of providing bulk to the concrete. That means in order to have a good mixture and also to have more volume, what we try to do along with the cement, we try to add coarse aggregate and we try to have fine aggregate into that. To increase the density of the resulting mix, the aggregate is frequently used in two or more sizes. That means also to increase the density of the concrete, we try to make use of coarse aggregate and the fine aggregate. That means if you try to see the density of a concrete, the density of concrete is 2400 kg per cubic meter. Per cubic meter is it is 2400 kg per cubic meter. That this much dense it is having, the concrete is having, right? So the second point is that usually when we try to make use of this coarse aggregate in the practical construction, whenever you see the construction happening, so the size of the aggregate what we use is usually 20 mm. Sometimes we'll use even a 10 mm aggregate, a 12 mm aggregate, 12.5 mm aggregate and all, right? So that is why it is written here. What is written here? Yeah, to increase the density of the resulting mix, the aggregate is frequently used in two or more sizes, right? So usually we use 20 mm, 10 mm and so on. So that what will happen, the voids will not be there and that voids will be filled with all these things. Yeah. And coming to the third point, yeah. The most important function of the fine aggregate is to assist in producing the workability and uniformity in the mixture. We already seen how it's going to help us, the sand and all. Yeah. So this is very important. The aggregate provides about 75% of the body of the concrete and hence its influence is extremely important. And the aggregate what we use should be of proper shape. Either it has to be a rounded or approximately cubical. It should be clean, hard, strong and well graded. That means whenever we prepare a concrete, right? So in that what will happen, more 75% of the portion, right, 75% of that will be filled by the coarse aggregate and the fine aggregate, and remaining will be filled by the water and the cement what we have. So this aggregate becomes very important for us. We should have a good quality of aggregate and only then we can get a good quality of concrete. So we'll try to see few other things regarding to the aggregates. So what is the requirement of a good aggregate? The first one is that, as always, it must be clean. That is, it should be free from the lumps and other organic matters, materials. Second is that it should be strong, because once you prepare a concrete, it has to resist the load. And since 75% of that is occupied by the aggregate should be strong so that it is capable of taking the load. It should be durable. So it should be good. If it is durable, only then what will happen? The structure will be long lasting, and it will serve the purpose for which it is put up for. So it should not react with cement after mixing, of course, because cement has to mix with water and cement has to start its reaction. So there should not be anything in the coarse aggregate or the fine aggregate where it will start reacting with the cement. It should have a rough surface. So if there is a rough surface, what will happen? The interlocking between the aggregates will be very good. The friction between them will be very good. As a result of that, what will happen? The voids and all will be less, and as a result of that, more density is going to be achieved. It should not absorb water more than 5%. It should not be soft and porous. Obviously, it should not be soft, and it should not be porous also. It should be chemically inert. That is, it should not react with any other cement and all. It should be of limiting porosity, and it should be of cubic or the spherical in shape. We'll try to see what kind of shape is good for the aggregate and all, right? So these are the common things that we need to understand about the requirement of the aggregate. Now coming to the main part about the coarse aggregate. So olden days, what used to happen, we had seen a lot of construction during the olden days, right? What was the kind of a construction that we were taking up? So if you see it, we were making use of a stone as a building block. You can see here they are made use of a stone, that is a brick work and all. Here they are made use of a stone, right? So olden days, this was a construction that we were seeing. But nowadays, what has happened? We are making use of RCC structure, right? We have a beam, we have a column, we have a slab and all. So what has happened now? Why is that suddenly that why we don't use it now? Why is that suddenly we have changed the way of construction? Instead of using the stone, today we are making use of column. That is, we are making use of concrete and all. So what is the reason behind that? The reason is that first is that we have not stopped the usage of the stone. Whatever stone we had, no, we actually did not stop the usage of that, but the way of using is changed. So in the ancient times, we used stone as a building block, but today we don't use stone as a building block, but we try to use it in a different way. So in today's time, what we do is we need high-rise buildings, right? Today, if you see the Burj Khalifa, if you see the Statue of Unity, then if you see a lot of high-rise buildings and all, they are very high-rise buildings, and you require a huge amount of concrete and all in that. The second is that we want compressive and tensile strength as well. That means the block what I had shown, the stone what I had shown you, so those are very strong in compression. It can resist a compressive force. But if you try to put a tensile force on that, no, it is not able to resist that. But we want such material which can take compressive as well as the tensile. The third is a desired shape is required, right? Whatever shape we want, that we need to make. So that means if you see it here, see today what has happened, we have we have to put up a structure something like this. This is a Burj Khalifa. Then we want to put certain high-rise buildings in this way. So all these are RCC structure. You can see it here. These are the columns, the beams, the slabs, and also very high-rise structure we want to put up. And the third thing is we want to put up a desired shape. So all these things is a requirement in today's world. So only with making use of that stone we cannot put up high rise buildings in this way. Even though we put up, what will happen, it will not be having a tensile strength in that. So what is the alternative to that? So alternative to that is what we have actually done. I'll show it here. Yeah. So actually what we have done, whatever stone we were getting, no, let us consider this is a stone. Okay. We have actually broken down the stone. We have broken down, I put a force here. We have broken down the stone in a form of small chips. These are the coarse aggregates what we have. Okay. We have actually broken down that bigger stone what we had, and we have made it into small shape. Then what we have done, then what we have done, let us say I have taken a container here. I'll put all this broken stone into this container. Okay. I'll take all this broken stone and I'll put that into this container. And once I put that in this container, is it a stone now? No, like it is not the same stone what we have, right? But I need to have a stone something like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make use of a mortar, that is a cement mortar. I'll prepare cement and I'll put sand and I'll put water into that. So what will happen, it will become a cement mortar, and I'm going to pour that into this particular container what I've prepared. So wherever there is a void in between the aggregate, all that will be filled by this, right? Whatever voids we have, all that will be filled into this, right? So, and if you want, you can insert a rebar into that. Rebar is a reinforcement bar, because see now what has happened. So if you're inputting a rebar into this, what will happen, you'll get the tensile strength also, because in the beginning of the class we had seen what the rebar can do. So compressive strength anyhow it will have. By inserting the rebar, we'll get the tensile strength also. Now let us say we are not inserting a rebar as of now. Let me take it out. Okay, I don't want to insert the rebar. Yeah, so once this is filled with the cement mortar and all, take it out. Then what will happen, you'll get the same shape something like this, right? You'll get a same shape something like this. So what is this going to look, this final shape what I've got here and the final shape what I had here, they both look the same, right? Now they both are the stone, but what has happened, this has become a concrete. So this has become a concrete now, right? This has become a concrete. So what has happened now, now this concrete what I've prepared here, it is able to take the compressive force whatever I wanted to do. That I again, desired shape is required. Desired shape is required. Like I wanted to put a shape something like this. With the help of this container, I've prepared a shape in this way. Let us say I want to prepare a shape something like this. Okay. Let me do it here. Yeah, let us say I want to prepare a circular shape in this way. So I can prepare a circular shape of the concrete in this way. Take a circular container. Okay, and in that you put the aggregate and the cement mortar, and you can get a shape something like this. But in the stone you cannot prepare a shape something like, it's very difficult to prepare, right? So second objective is also fulfilled. The third is in the high rise building. By preparing a concrete in this way, you can see high rise building has been created here, right? So whatever shape you want, everything is achieved here. So what I'm trying to tell, we have not stopped the usage of the stone, but the way the stone is yeah, finally what has happened, this is like a stone only, no? Once you put the aggregate and you put the cement mortar, and once you take it out, the finally how it's going to look, it's going to look like a stone only. And before also we were using stone, olden days. Now also we are using stone only, but the way of using the stone has been changed. What we did, we have broken down the stone. In that we have tried to add the cement mortar, and finally we got a desired shape. And because of this, whatever thing we wanted to have, that is a compressiveness, and whatever shape we wanted, that we have got it here. So basically what I'm trying to tell is, we have not stopped the usage of the stone, but the way of using the stone has been changed, right? So concrete is an artificial stone. So with this understanding, I can say that, I'll write it here. So we can say concrete is a artificial stone, isn't it? Because see, beginning also we were using stone, now also we are using stone only. Concrete is like a stone only, but it's an artificial stone. We are preparing it because we are breaking down the bigger stones. In that we try to add cement mortar and all. Initially we were not using cement mortar, only the blocks we were using, right? So that is the importance of using the coarse aggregate. Yeah, so in the next lecture we'll try to see how these classifications of the aggregates are done, how the coarse aggregate is defined, how the fine aggregate is defined, what do you mean by all those things. These things we'll try to see in the next lecture. But before that, I wanted to explain this, that we have not stopped the usage of the stone, but the way of using has been changed, and this is the fundamentals that we need to understand, how the coarse aggregate is going to help us. Yeah, so we'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.